Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I make turtles.
It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What up, though? Welcome to BDE, Big D Energy. I'm your boy Eazy filling in
Big
for
D,
the golden voice of Neil Rule, and I'm joined by the four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty in the building.
Just four. That's it. How you doing, Eazy?
Four-time.
Shout out to Detroit Dabber. He's on his game this week. He's making it a streak. First one in. But
up,
good
man.
to have you, Eazy. Welcome back. Pontoon has been fixed since last time we took it out, so you're at the helm.
It's fixed with duct tape, though. We gotta,
Spence and Sammy Flannel, they're all ready to rock and roll. We're excited. Yeah, it's a heavyweight takeover next few days. So buckle up, folks.
Yes, sir. And couple hot topics today. Honestly, Jimmy G. His favorite place to land is the Detroit Lions. I don't know if you guys saw that. Jimmy G is soon to be on the market because they did the smart thing. They drafted a quarterback, and it's okay. They sat him for a year. Turns out you can do that as an organization.
Who knew?
And who knew? And they're ready to
see immediately. If Neil was sitting there, being the draft capital, different guy like this, I don't think it's going to work out. I mean, I know obviously they're trying to place things here, but again, going into this draft, I think that Brad Holmes has a plan, and I don't think Jimmy G is part of that plan.
I don't think so either. In fact, there's a couple mock drafts come out this morning through guys on NFL Network. Peter Schrager, he actually had a little surprising pick there towards the end of it. I'm sure we'll get into that at some point today. We got Dylan Larkin. I saw your clip from yesterday. I saw the bat. I think we hit it from you, D-Mac. We were nervous.
I don't have it today, so I guess I'm calmed down. It's all fists.
Oh, man.
Nah, it's little. Talked about Dylan Larkin, obviously, yesterday. I was a little bit perturbed at the idiots that think that he shouldn't be captain or whatever. I think that what you saw is sort of his last in front of the media because he went off to get some surgery, small core surgery or whatever it is, just more of maintenance, which is a smart thing to do. But there's certain things I'll tolerate easy. There's certain things that I won't. And stupidity like that as we're building. And I know everybody's frustrated because we had high hopes the way that the first half of the season went. But from my experience, it's the perseverance, it's the losing, it's finding out what you have to dig deeper, to get it through. The game's changed a lot. There's a lot of positives when we look back. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to go through and do a breakdown of sort of grades and what I expect in the future. But the one thing is that Dylan Larkin's your captain, my captain, your captain, our captain. So by far, definitely a bright spot in this Red Wings season. So, for anybody else out there who likes hockey, talks hockey, I think this hockey playoff season is going to be pretty exciting. So now my focus is on Toronto, right? I keep hearing, we're going through this NHL, right? Is end of the year, how many guys are going to hit 100 points or how many guys are going to get 50 goals? Is Ovechkin going to get to 50? Is Austin Matthews going to get to 60? That's all irrelevant, coming into the playoffs, because if Toronto has to play Tampa Bay, right, you're going to find rubber meets the road real early. So I think that this playoff series, and I always say that NHL playoffs first round is the greatest, whether you're a player or you're not, because it's just hockey after hockey after hockey after hockey, and it means something, right? So unfortunately, we're not going to be there. Fortunately, hopefully we get through the rest of the season, guys stay healthy, and then we see what Steve Yzerman, what the big plan is. And like I've always said, I expect if there will be moves made, but and they'll be done before the draft. So it's just all part of growing. And that's all it is. So
1,000%.
Yeah, so I can't back Dylan Larkin up on the ice, but I sure got his back off the ice.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, someone who's on their way to the Red Wings organization, hopefully sooner than later, Simon Edvidson, we got that in the show prep as well. Hopefully you break some of the things that you like down.
Well, that's, if you are a Red Wing, a hockey head or whatever, go check out the Swedish Elite League playoffs, because for London, you mentioned Edvidson, you mentioned some of the other guys. We mentioned all the Swedes coming down the pipeline. These guys are playing in big games, and what I've also said is that I've seen that this Swedish Elite League has become this sort of the second AHL, if not a league that's helped producing more ready to play NHLers. So the fact that there's guys down the pipeline, the fact that there's jobs that are available, because we saw that, because guys got opportunities and they did not, grab the bull by the horn, so to speak. So it's not doom and gloom. Right? If Neil was here, then I'd have him open up the war chest and show you all the draft picks and all the money that's available and stuff like this. So this is now where I think it's a little tougher than maybe we expected it just to be smooth and gradually ascend and get better and build on guys, but that's not the way it works. So, but the thing is, Stevie has the resources to do it whichever way he wants. And you got to remember that there's a bunch of guys coming down the pipeline that are going to challenge for jobs. Why? Because the guys here didn't grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah. Also on the deck, we have a fellow Sparty in the building. My man Spin Morex, Emoni Bates. I'm back on the transfer market.
Yeah, he's in the portal. He's leaving Memphis. Who knows where he's going to go? Who knows
he's
where
in
he's
the portal, leave a message. What do you guys think, because I think that the whole thing, do you really know how good Emoni Bates is? It's always the entourage and the show around it, right? We witness this, when Tom Izzo recruited him to Michigan State, and then he wanted to leave, went to Memphis to be with Penny, and then that didn't work out. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, because have we really seen any, basketball ability or all this hype that he was, because all the hype around him off the court is sort of bigger. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Does he end up in the Big Ten, or where does a guy like this go?
I would hope, honestly. And even as a Michigan State fan, I wouldn't mind seeing Michigan. I want to see the kid play. I want to see what he could do. I know that he has that big hype potential around him.
It obviously didn't work the first time around, and
he's banged up a little bit.
Izzo's new.
Because he did have an injury, and again too,
But you don't think it's like a character issue, or you don't think do you think
he's definitely got diva tendencies.
Explain to me why you would take another chance on him, or why you convinced Tom Izzo to take another chance on this kid.
I think the talent is why.
Yeah, he has the potential to step in immediately and be the best player in the Big Ten, and that's. Even if he doesn't live up to that talent, if he plays a fraction of that level, you definitely got to take a shot on him, because college basketball is all about talent now. It's not about four-year guys. It's not about keeping these guys that Izzo grooms and stuff. That doesn't work anymore. And if you want more than one championship in 22 years, you got to take a shot at a guy like Emoni Bates, who was the number one prospect in the country at one point.
Well, there's our Twitter poll. Put it up. Would you, yes or no? Do you want to see our Emoni Bates back with the Spartans?
Yeah.
In a Spartan jersey. I mean, because here's the thing, right? You weigh the pros and the cons, right? To me, this is sort of, and I'm going to use Kayvon Thibodeau, right? All the things you hear about the outside noise and stuff like this, with Emoni Bates, you've experienced it live in color in Michigan State. You've seen what the circus, or so to speak, has gone.
Can I ask, what was there anything, is it speculative? Because I know obviously he switched to Memphis, but I'm assuming that was because of a cash offer kind of thing. Because obviously Penny Hardaway actually just got probed for something similar to that too. I think with their recruit Darren. But is it all speculative, or did he actually outright do something?
Well, I think that around here is that when you're recruited by Tom Izzo, who's regarded as one of the best coaches and stuff like this, and then you make it my way or the highway. Not Tom Izzo, but you don't go with to me, is if you commit to a Tom Izzo, that you need structure and you want that coaching and stuff like this. And I think it's just in today's day and age where it was not, I don't know if it was too hard or they didn't see eye to eye or whatever else, that it's just easy to go somewhere else if you don't like it, right? So that's my whole thing. Is it more of a deterrent? You know, but so you guys are telling me because of the talent level that you guys believe in that it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we looked at the stats yesterday. It was like 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And again, too, he had a lower back injury right before the tournament started as well. So, like, I think it's still there. I think worst case scenario, he still stretches the floor for like MSU. Flannel Sam, he's raised your hand. What's your take on it?
At one point in time, he was higher, like coming into college, he was a higher ranked prospect than Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith. And Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith are going to be 2 of the top 3 picks in the draft. Those type of players don't just grow on trees. He didn't just lose it all.
Amen.
If you're a big-time program and you don't take a chance on Emoni Bates, you're just, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So, Sam, my question to you is where do you think he ends up, or do you think that the risk, the risk versus the reward is there? Where do you think, which program do you think would best benefit Emoni Bates to get the potential out to be that top pick?
That's a good question.
I mean, best program to get the potential would probably be someone like Duke or even a Villanova where he could be well coached. But where I want to see him, obviously, is Michigan. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but of course he's worth the risk. He was the number 3 ranked prospect coming into college. He was higher ranked than Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith. Of course you take the risk. He's got loads of talent. He's tall, he's long, he's athletic. The problem was he just didn't shoot the ball very well, and he might have been in the wrong system. Of course he's worth the risk.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I honestly think it's worth the risk for all the reasons that you said. Like, the talent is there. He had a little injury issue. The character stuff, I don't know if it's as much as a character thing versus guys being mad that he went to Memphis last minute. And again, you look at the Memphis and Penny Hardaway, they're literally dealing with like a probe right now of, I don't know what the exact details of it is, but I know they're getting docked for something. And I'm assuming that Emoni Bates and his father or something got, I mean, you know how these things work. He got a bag.
Well, you're speculating as it is. You're doing exactly what everybody else is doing.
That's fair.
There's
a track record to it, though,
Well, no, I understand that, but I think the best point that was brought up in this is what Sam said, is that he might have been put in a system that didn't benefit him, and if it's his shooting and it's not, if it's something that is mechanical or something on the court, well, he's talented enough. If you're telling me that good coaching could probably help him fix him or put him in the right situation, right? Maybe that's the case, and if that is the case, I would expect, one of these top teams that has done this in the past, to go out there and try to recruit him.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, Sam. Maybe Juwan Howard is having this conversation.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he's gotten a lot of good recruits, even if they haven't all panned out. So I wouldn't rule it out. I would love to have Emoni Bates on my team. Are you kidding? He could be, like Spencer said, the talent to be the best player in the Big Ten the second he steps on the court. He's got to live up to it, though, but he's got the talent.
But is it better? So I see it in the chat thread here about him, will he go to a mid-major instead? Will he go to a small pond and be the big fish? Is he more? What would benefit his game more?
He wants the big stage because he wants that draft. He wants to get risen in the draft. He wants to shine.
So you're more apt to see him, like Sam said, at a Villanova or Duke or a top program than it is going and doing an Oklahoma State or something like more of a Cade Cunningham route.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I think Michigan State are not far from that stage as well. So I could definitely see those in the running as well.
Tell me how the timeline works in college basketball? When do you expect to hear something?
That's a good question. I think this is the first time with the transfer portal, is it not?
No, transfer portal's been around for a couple of years. You can expect to hear something about I would say 3 months before the season starts, really before they get in there and they start going at the conditioning and training. You want to hear, because the Spartans got Tyson Walker a couple months before the season started. Nobody really saw that coming, and then Izzo went in there and they grabbed him up. I'm not sure exactly when it opens for them to be able to talk to different schools, but I know within a couple months we're going to start hearing some rumblings about who he's meeting with, who he's talking to, and what's going on there.
Yeah, and he plays defense, D-Mac. You always plays defense? Would you mind telling us?
Oh yeah, I will. Just here for the poll before we go. Pretty split. 55% say no, they want him back with Sparty. 45% say yes. So, I guess that really does show is that the balance of talent to whatever else. And I'll give the kid credit because he's not the same person as he was when he came the first time.
Yeah.
So this is why these conversations are made. But you know where all the great conversations are made? At my house. You know why? Because I got Guardian Alarm, and they get it. Whether it's your residence or your commercial real estate, whatever you want, Guardian Alarm is a good defense to help you feel secure. All with 24/7 monitoring right here through your phone. You can turn the lights on, turn the heat up and down, catches on fire, smoke detector, or even that silent deadly killer carbon monoxide when you're sleeping. So if you want to be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network family, you can too. By calling today, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Tell everybody in Birmingham Roast where they got the banana bread French toast. It's phenomenal. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Yeah, and you know what? You can get that audio, that easy audio on your garage. So when people light the light up, it'll yell like that. Anyways, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Big D Energy, be right back. Easy in for Neil, D-Mac here on a Tuesday.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
Counting down the hits until Miggy hits 3,000.
High drive, way back the other way, and gone! Cabrera hits another one.
The summer of Woodward sports is here.
What up, though? Welcome back to Big D Energy. I'm Eazy of the Woodward Heavyweights, filling in for the golden voice of Neil Rule, and I'm joined by the four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty.
Yes, sir.
All right. We can get to talk quarterbacks. We love to talk quarterbacks when we talk NFL. More than that, we love to talk quarterbacks when it comes, well, at least I love to talk quarterbacks when it comes to the Detroit Lions. And it just so happened to have a quarterback in town today, Malik Willis, visiting with the Detroit Lions. But they also had a visit with Kenny Pickett. Now, I wanted to ask, obviously they're flirting around with the two of them, having these guys in for the top 30 visits, but which one of these guys would you rather have?
You know what? It goes down to what I've always said. If the Lions and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and that regime is sold on a quarterback, and we've always been talking about Malik Willis, but got to put Pickett in the same category as if they want to go for him at number 2 because they believe in that's the guy, whether I do or not, then that's the guy. I would think from all the things that I've heard, what I've been told, or whatever, that Malik Willis, if they were going to pick a quarterback at number 2, be prepared for him to be it. But the one thing that I like, Easy, that the Detroit Lions are rolling every rock over. They're looking in every nook and cranny. They're talking to everybody they need to. Aiden Hutchinson was in town yesterday. Mm-hmm. They're doing their due diligence, right? I said this yesterday on yesterday's show to Neil. I honestly have no idea who they're picking right now, as opposed to into the past with the Quintricia regime going into the 3rd overall pick. We all knew it was a car crash. We all knew Okuda was getting picked. It was a disgusting feeling. Going into this draft, I'm excited. You know, anybody who's going to join us down at the Brass Rail for draft night already knows that I'm creating a drinking game for the Woodward Heavyweights to see, depending on what the draft pick is, and the fellas will have to drink to. We're gonna have some fun, but I am up in the air. There's arguments to everything, and I think being a great GM and the difference in the organization, to me, that's telling. That's telling. So. Again, in homes I trust.
Yeah.
So I would expect it to be Malik Willis just from everything that I've heard. But maybe Kenny Pickett. Maybe they've been holding the cards to him. The beautiful thing that I have in the back of my head is that this coaching staff, this organization, these guys, the Detroit Lions guys, we're at the Senior Bowl. We're there with eyes on players, right? No matter what, no matter how intense or whatever else. So I don't care what it is. The eyeball test is one of the greatest tests. You can give me all the stats you want, and then I'm going to go watch you play.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's going to tell me I can watch you for 2-3 shifts, right? And I can tell you all I pretty much need to know, right? And are there things to improve on?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
For sure.
But what about you guys? I mean, because now, and you know what? I like this because we haven't heard of Kenny Pickett. So if we're hearing it, other teams are hearing it. So whoever likes Kenny Pickett, like that's part about playing poker, and that's what I think that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and the organization is playing very good poker right now.
And I think that's part of it too. As well documented, Matt Rule recruited Kenny Pickett to Pitt, before he left to become the coach of the Panthers. So there's that relationship. And obviously the Panthers truly want to take him, us flirting with him, like you said, kind of maybe makes a temptation for a trade. And not only just a trade, but we're trading still back into the top 10,
Throw the blood, like there's a blood. You bring him in, you start talking about it, you make other people, nervous.
No,
you make other
1,000%.
people nervous by what are they talking to my guy for? If it is their guy. So all these conversations, it's a trickle-down effect. And the more that, we talk about it, I guess, hey, throw that poll up, Spence. Pickett or Willis.
That'd be a good one.
If you were, and I guess this is more I don't think you're going to be able to get one of these guys at 32.
No.
So if you were going to get them, it'd have to be at 2.
Yeah.
And again, me personally, I don't think they're going to go quarterback, but as Neil says, I'm getting prepared.
Yeah, and I think them even doing this, it could be just simply for trade bait in terms of other teams looking for quarterbacks. But one, it is them doing the due diligence. And there's this guy out there. You guys know him. He's a big name guy in the NFL world, Peter Schrager. For years now, he's had the most accurate mock drafts heading into, obviously, the regular draft. And the reason is he does his mock drafts based off hearsay and what he's hearing through his insiders and whatnot. And he actually has, I don't know if you guys saw this morning, came out with his mock draft 2.0. He actually, the Detroit Lions taking Matt Corral at 32, which I'm not opposed to. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big fan of I want a quarterback in place so we could, kind of break up with Goff as soon as possible. But the only thing that confused me with it is, how come he hasn't been in for a visit? That's what make me question stuff like that. But I think that him obviously having a quarterback in his mock draft, us bringing in these guys for draft visits, and our coach, Mark Brunell, speaking so highly of coaching a guy like Malik Willis, kind of points to sign hey, yeah, these guys are looking around. They're looking to find someone. And as you see there, too, here's the first round draft attendees. The guys are going to be there on the opening night to eventually, hopefully,
shake hands.
Is there anybody
not on the list that you would expect to be on the list?
I don't know about on the list, but the one signal to me was Matt Corral on there because he really hasn't been mocked to go anywhere else other than Detroit at 32 and multiple drafts.
Well, and again, that goes down to trusting the process. I think Councilman says it pretty good on here. And when I got my "Don't tell me what, tell me who" shirt, right? So we all have this information. We're all talking about Schrags and this guy and this guy. Well, the council says that. He was talking to one of his guys out there that pretty much had the draft nailed, and the consensus is it could be one of 4 different guys going number 1, right? And because it's so wide open, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's wide open in decision, and it's wide open because would you count out somebody moving up to number 1 for Jacksonville's pick? Because I wouldn't count that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about different things like that, those are the little things, Easy, that you like to point out or you like to see, right? The fact that you said the attendees there, Matt Corral's on the list, and so that's something to put in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think we'll know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to go into the draft. I want to be sitting there with you guys, like everybody else, going, okay, I think it's going to be him. I'm not sure it's going to be him, but we're like literally the idea is I'm going to have 3 different shots lined up for you. One you like, one you don't like, and one you really hate, right? And depending on what's drafted, you got to do that shot.
For sure.
If anybody knows any different or any better, so.
Well, let me ask you this. I'll probably ask Sam and Spence this, actually. Would you rather have Willis at 2 or Corral at 32?
I'd rather have Willis at 2 than Corral at 32. I think unless that's their guy, if that's your guy, if Matt Corral is Brad Holmes' guy and you can get him at 32, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But I just think Willis is more of a talent than Matt Corral is, and I think...
See, I'm with Gromit. Let's just wait and draft Bailey Zappi in the 6th.
No.
Oh, man.
So we can just have Kellen Moore 2.0.
I just love the name.
It's you need to get your guy. You need to get talent. You can't wait until the 7th round to get a quarterback. You can't wait until the 5th round to get a quarterback. And even if you wait until Matt Corral is available, it's the likelihood of him busting compared to somebody that people are talking about at 2 is much higher.
Here's what I'll be looking forward to, right? Mm-hmm. And you see it in the way that Steve Yzerman does trades. It's always like people are afraid to trade with him or whatever because he's always going to get the best deal.
Afraid to take
the
that out.
Detroit Lions dictate their draft or have their draft dictated to them, right? In years past, it's always been sort of sitting back and being on the defensive. I think last year was the first time that sort of changed. Why? Because we got results. We got guys playing. So at the end of the day, I'm going to look at it because of where this team is at more. To me, it's how many guys did we get that are going to play, that are going to be part of this rebuild, than just that one guy who's going to be that big difference maker, right? I think that's next year, no matter what position it is, right? I think this year it's more of getting like to the point of everybody says Aiden Hutchinson would be a perfect fit for the Dan Campbell. Yeah, if you're building the culture and he falls to you and they draft him, well, you understand that's what they're thinking also, right? So I'm looking at this like when we break down last year's draft and we say, oh, look at this guy played and this guy played and this guy played and this guy played and he's got stats and look at him, what he's done. I want another year of that. And if we have another year of that draft and draft guys that can come in and be a part of this team and build it up, then I'm good with not taking that shot. But again, in saying that, Spence, Eazy, Sam, in saying that, I have no idea. I really don't have an idea which way they're going to go. I flip flop every day.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that they're considering a quarterback because like what it can do for your franchise. It truly changes everything for you with the whole Jared Goff situation I've said before, the free agency, and like to the people saying, hey, the quarterback's next year. Last year they were saying that about Ritter, about Howell. They were saying, like, look at these guys coming out next year. We don't need a quarterback this year. When I was making the case for Trey Lance. And then look at all the guys they're talking about slide down.
But you made the point, right? Because you're talking about quarterbacks. You're making everybody else think you're talking about quarterbacks. Whether you take it or not, all these Carolinas and these teams that want the quarterbacks, whether you have the pocket aces or not, you're playing them like you have them.
Yeah.
Right? So, whether they're going to call your bluff or not, and the closer it gets to crunch time, that's when we see. What do I always say? There's always that team that panics.
Yeah.
There's always that team. And what I would do is, if you want to look into it, look at the GMs who are on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Right? Who's the GMs on the hot seat? Right? Like, the New York Giants, their guy's not on the hot seat. They just got rid of Gettleman. This is a new guy. He's got two picks, 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Right? He's got to make good on that, but he's got some rope to hang himself with because it's new. So look at sort of things like that. And I still hold off to that there might be a big move to somewhere up at the top of the draft. Where I don't know.
I'm game to go fishing for a quarterback, but if I wanted to eat some fish, D-Mac, what's the best spot right now?
No, dude, it's a given. I mean, it's a given. I can't believe that I got to do this read with you two sitting here. This is the big boy read. For the big boy, this is the heavyweight heads. And the Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy. It includes a Friday night seafood and eat it buffet. Yes, all the seafood you can eat. It goes until April 24th. Catch it while you can. That's fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn, shrimp, and pike perch. Pike perch. There's a new fish sandwich available at all participating participating locations. Get in there and get your buffet on at Big Boy today. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
At Wing Snob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wing Snob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What up, though, and welcome back. I'm your boy Eazy from the Woodward Heavyweights, joined by the four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty. D-Mac, real quick, can I ask you something? I was saying the four time, 3 times. Oh, you're mean. All right, that was not cool. I was saying the four time, 3 times, right? And then people in the chat were saying, you're supposed to say it 4 times, say it 4 times. Look, the reason why I'm doing that, you're wrestling fans, Booker T, he goes, 5 times. How many times does he say 5 times? Is it 3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not to his level yet, so I'm not allowed to look and see, copy Booker T. He's got 5, I got 4.
Yeah.
When I get there.
Yeah.
But I like it. You keep doing it, I'll keep waving it.
Yeah. Gang. Of course, we are joined by Flannel Sam in the sound booth.
How many days in a row?
Yeah.
42.
That's
42.
disgusting.
The Jackie Robinson day of the flannels in the booth for Sammy
Are
Flannel.
you washing those things?
Oh yeah, and I got a ton of flannels. I have like 15 of them, so it's all in one big rotation.
Hey, you know what? If it didn't snow yesterday and the weather starts changing, we're gonna have to get you into those cutoff short sleeves, riptide. We got the summer
The short sleeve
Sammy
flannel.
Some crop top flannels.
edition coming at you.
Crop top flannels.
Crop top flannels. There you go.
All right,
Woodward
guys.
Heavyweights.
Before we left, we were talking about fishing for quarterbacks. This one, we have to address it. We speak of Brad Holmes very highly here in Detroit. We say he's a competent GM. He does very well at hiding his cards, close to his vest, where people don't know what's going on. But for some reason, from Pro Football Focus to Pro Football Talk, they must think that we have an idiot in the front office because they keep having us trade for mediocre quarterbacks. Whether it's Baker Mayfield and now Jimmy G. It just turns out, so this is our guy Justin Rogers, shout out to him. He says, just got the odds email. The list Lions, number 2 at plus 250 to land Jimmy Garoppolo.
Who's number 1?
Number 1, I don't know. It had Justin Rogers. He's the one with the list there. But I know number 2, they got us. They got us with the Detroit Lions. I'm like, no disrespect to Jimmy G. I do actually think he's better than Jared Goff. I mean, I think they're pretty close, though. I just want to know, why would we trade for another, mediocre quarterback? Why would we move from one bridge quarterback in Jared Goff to another bridge quarterback in Jimmy G?
I don't know. It makes me so mad when they swirl around these names. Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, they're all the same person.
Dude, exactly.
I don't want to trade anybody. I don't want to trade our assets. I don't want to bring on another salary of another quarterback who's not going to win a Super Bowl, who's not going to push us over the limit. I don't want to take one of these mediocre guys from a mediocre team and bring him here and have him be worse than Jared Goff is. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is worse than Jared Goff, and that's saying a lot, honestly.
And honestly, too,
I don't think it's an upgrade.
Yeah, and Goff is a bridge quarterback, right? We know that they want another quarterback. Jimmy G is literally a bridge quarterback right now. They're moving on from him. They bridged him to Lance.
Right.
What is it? I wish Neil was here actually a little bit, just because I know that he likes guys like Jimmy G. He likes those two guys.
Neil would break it down with salary. I mean, you're not. Why you're trading one for the other? You're not improving. You're not doing anything. If anything, I would look at contracts, and I'm not the draft capital, so I don't know. But I would expect that the contract you'd have to re-sign him to or whatever would you're getting up to those numbers of 30, 35, 40 million like all the quarterbacks are rising to. We just saw Derek Carr sign a 3-year, $120 million contract and stuff like this. When you look at it and where Goff's at and the way they restructured his contract and where the cap is, and Neil talks about it all the time, Goff is your perfect bridge quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, as far as you mentioned Garoppolo, you mentioned Baker Mayfield. Who else is out there that these and I think that they're one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league? Yeah, I think they're NFL quarterbacks, but Baker might be in the 20s and Jimmy G might be down near the 29, 30, whatever else.
You said something that was extremely important and critical to this whole conversation too, and it is the cap space. Like that's one thing the Lions are limited on. That's the reason why they cut Trey Flowers. How in the hell? Not only why the hell, how in the hell would they bring in a guy like Jimmy G? His cap hit's $25 million in a trade.
Right. So
why is this even speculated?
So
I don't
right
even get
there,
it.
easy. It's not even a bet because the money doesn't even work.
It doesn't.
And you're not going to juggle, shuffle, cut, mince, do whatever in the contract world to make it work because it's Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So I think that whoever put the odds up there is just, throwing darts saying, they
Vegas
need a quarterback.
put them up there, and Vegas always knows, so they might be looking at something that we're not. But, Jimmy Garoppolo did have a porn star wife once in a long time ago.
Oh, my God.
So
what is
that might be a little factor of it, I don't know, bring in some fresh faces around here.
Jesus.
You got to let the meat slap meat.
Yeah.
Meat slapping.
Flannel Sam, where you at,
clock
man?
alone.
Where you at with this stuff? Because I'm going crazy over here. I'm pissed.
Well, of course I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo. That would be a terrible idea. And just to give you a couple stats on Jimmy Garoppolo, because I know people like Neil, I know people like Jimmy Garoppolo and say, oh, but he wins. In his playoff run where he went to the Super Bowl, in the NFC Championship and Division round combined, he completed 17 passes in 2 games. That's less than 10 per game.
Is that good?
No.
No.
Okay.
That he's had stacked rosters around him all the time. Great defenses, running
Excellent
game.
coaching.
Kyle Shanahan, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Jimmy Ward. I mean, I could go
Belichick
on.
before that.
That's a really good point. And then remember in this playoff game last year where they beat the Packers 13-10, where he led him to 1 field goal in regulation and 1 field goal in overtime, and the only touchdown was a punt return on kind of a fluky play. Jimmy Garoppolo, stay out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you brought up a great point, right? Jimmy G was a Bill Belichick guy. Like Bill Belichick likes Jimmy G. Is that the aroma or the lure that carries around? Is that the stank on Jimmy G that he drags that Belichick love behind him and people say you got potential? Do you ever
That's
you sort
gotta
of
be a
you
factor
think
of
that
it.
way? Because Belichick wanted Jimmy G instead of Tommy B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is that something to it? Or is it, but to that point, or is it like once they leave New England, you know what I mean? All the special sauce leaves and all that Belichick rub, just like in coaches, wears off. See, that like, is there something to it that people believe because Belichick once believed in this kid?
Well,
I think when he did believe in him, part of it was that rookie contract. Tom Brady obviously wanted to be paid more, and that's part of the reason why he ended up breaking up with New England.
So you say that the Belichick wasn't as much love on Jimmy G than it was on the money.
Yeah, because I
wasn't
think you look
Tom
at the
always taking
Patriots and their
less money?
system and the way they do everything, they look as everyone as a systematic piece, and then they're like replaceable, in which they've kind of proven over the years. I mean, obviously the Tom Brady thing as a guy, up for debate. They only had the 2 years without him. One was a COVID year, but I think that's how Bill Belichick looks at guys. That's why they don't usually never really re-sign their guys to big contracts. This past year was like the first time they actually went crazy in free agency.
Yeah, different moveset.
What were you gonna say, Solano Sam?
I was just going to say, when it comes to Belichick and everything, Jimmy Garoppolo can win you games. And in a system like the Patriots and with the 49ers, I mean, he got the 49ers to a Super Bowl, but you're never going to win because of him. But still, getting to a Super Bowl is nothing to sneeze at. And I think that has something to do with why he keeps getting brought up and why there's still some shine on him. I can admit that.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff got the Super Bowl, and we've seen that. And then I would say this to Jimmy G, to anyone who watched the NFC Championship this past year against the Rams, like, You saw the difference between Jimmy G and Matthew Stafford. He had a chance to close out the game, and he couldn't. He just didn't. In fact, I think the whole second half, they were just booty cheeks. It's like,
Did you say booty cheese?
Yeah, booty cheeks. Booty cheese, probably, honestly, that too. But, yeah, I mean, there's a reason guys like Sean McVay, an excellent offensive mind, and Kyle Shanahan, got replacements for these guys. It's because they're not elite. They're not, and those are like the top tier offensive minds in the game right now. Yeah, they can't.
You want them next level, so serviceable guy, a guy that could win you games and stuff like this, but not win you the right games.
Yes, and as a team to be on an upswing and rebuild to some point to where at least in the playoffs, why would we give away assets for that type of guy? It just makes zero sense.
No, it does. I think it's the first thing you look at is what is the cap hit and where's any sitting rate with Goff. You should be happier. Again, with the way that the season ended, moving into this year, and Jared Goff's not the savior, but he's not the problem, right? For where you're at right now, right? He's the perfect buffer, and isn't it nice that you don't have to worry about your quarterback for right now, so that you can fully concentrate as an organization on the draft, or worry about like how you're plugging and placing things in? Yeah, that's got to give you a little bit more, sleep at night. A little head on the pillow to focus on the work, which means you can put that extra. And what I mean is that you can put that extra hour, 2 hours of tape time in on somebody you think you might want instead of somebody that you need to have, or making these decisions and, draft capital, trades, this and that. That's a whole different mess, right? When you're talking the trade world and the contract world, that's wholly different than the draft world.
Yep, and I look at the 49ers as like a successful franchise in the league. I think for like many years they've been one of the better franchises in the league. And I just look at how they kind of got their whole situation going, where they drafted a guy, they sat him for a year, they made a trade asset of Jimmy G. And I just kind of, again, I'm touching it back to the Lions. I just want that to be our route. I want to take a guy this year. I don't care where. Preferably in the first 3 picks. We can sit him a year, let him mature a little bit, get him in your system and how you want him to do things, and then there you go. Next year, you clean off your books of Jared Goff. You have the draft capital to still build a team.
Yeah, the perfect world if that's your guy.
Yes.
Right? If that's your guy, that's going to move you to the next and these are the things that we will find out if that's what Brad Holmes and everybody else. But if, coming up on the draft, I know that Aiden Hutchinson's minus 250 on mybookie.com, because if you want to go and bet on who's going first overall in the draft, or you can even put down money, Lions win the Super Bowl, who knows what they're at right now, plus I'm going to say plus 15,000 maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Best way to place your bets, mybookie.com. Go there today. Enter promo code Woodward when you sign up. Get up to 50% of your money for free. That's right. Free bets just for entering Woodward when you sign up MyBookie account. Plus, you can bet on anything from wrestling to soccer to major sports. Maybe even drop in a Friday NASCAR if you like money, because D-Mac hit Kyle Busch plus 1,600 last weekend. I'll give you one on Friday. If you're good, bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.com. Problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117. Big D Energy. Be right back. Woodward Sports.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
The official sticker partner of Woodward Sports. When it comes to stickers and signage, think Sticker Genius. We support this local Detroit business, and we are excited to show you our latest project, the Planet Fitness Studio from Sticker Genius. If you need custom stickers, wall graphics, window graphics, and plenty more, reach out to our friends at Sticker Genius. We at Woodward Sports couldn't be any happier with the service they provided us. They were quick, easy to deal with, and super professional. Head to stickergenius.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back. I am Eazy of the Woodward Heavyweights podcast, filling in for the golden voice of Neil Rule. I'm joined by the four-time 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, a.k.a. D-Mac. We got Flannel Sam in the sound booth. My man Kung Fu Spinny in the TD booth. And he's pumped, too. I got Kendrick Lamar dropping the album May 13th.
Oh, yeah, May 13th. The
Hey,
goat's
when's
back.
the Woodward Heavyweight sticker coming out from Sticker Genius? The fans want to know. Mike G says he needs one. I need one from a mug. Let's go.
Yeah,
get on
I think we should get on that.
We should
Which one?
definitely
Hey,
hop on that.
who's the brains and who's the brawn in the or in the operation? Do I just tell Maddie?
Yeah, honestly.
So pretty much it's just
Maddie. Maddie's been clutch.
Maddie
Maddie's
had
been clutch.
security.
Yeah. Shout out to Maddie. She's killing it.
Maddie, the heavyweights need to get with Sticker Genius and get a sticker. In fact, every show needs to get their own stickers. How about that?
Hell yeah.
There you go. See, I just threw it in the ether, in the universe.
For Big D, let's get like a giant clock.
I was very subtle about it too.
Let's get a giant clock in the shape of. All right.
And just your big ass mouth just eat my clock.
Real quick, I want to address something in the chat. Wait, I missed that part. I'm kind of happy I did. I don't know what it was. But anyway, I want to talk about some of the chats. So people are talking about the quarterback stuff was drafting one, and they're saying, trade up and draft one next year. Because their argument is they want to build a team. Hold on. So you guys want to trade away draft assets, pieces to building a team, to trade it for an unproven commodity in the quarterback next year. I don't get that line of thinking, man.
Well, that's why they're not drafting. That's why they're not in the war room. But again, it's the fork in the road. We're gonna sit there on the draft, and whether you think you know or you don't know, and when it's done, you'll know one sort of direction which way this team's gonna go. Did they pick their quarterback? Did they get a guy later? Was it somebody like you mentioned? You bring up Matt Corral. You bring up a great point. Easy, they show the attendees to the draft. And Matt Corral's name's on there, and you don't hear him in first-round talk except for the Lions at 32 as a quarterback. Is that realistic? Well, you know what? I can piece the pieces together, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, the smell test smells fine there, too. So it's just which direction. I think we all agree. We all agree as Lions fans, right? And 3-13-1, the starting of building the foundation, but we got to get better this year. And I think we will get better, but it's building that culture and doing it right. So at the end of the draft, when we're sitting here on the Friday or on the Monday, when everything's all done, you should have more of a view, a focus to say, okay, we're going to go, this looks like we're going more of the Cincinnati way. Oh, this looks like we're going more of the LA Chargers way.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then it's where the money fills out. Then that's why we have Neil and say, how does this break down with the cap and the draft and all this stuff? And he goes, blip, 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 and, spits out everything else. And you realize that, okay, in homes we trust.
Yeah.
And it is different now. Now what's next? Oh, you got to go play the game. Yeah. Right? All this stuff we're talking about is it's time to play all the game. On paper.
Yeah.
Right? All on paper. And that's why they play the game.
I wish I had I'm not gonna do on set. I want to do the Triple H stuff. I think it's Robert. So I'm looking at the chat. It looks like it's our boy, Doughboy Steve, our guy Robert Colosia, and I forget who else was the third guy too. They want to go defense as their reasoning. Are there not defensive players in next year's draft? Are there not going to be defensive guys available?
Better defensive players.
Yeah, better defensive players in next year's draft. As it's not been called a weak draft, I don't know, guys. Come on. But anyway, speaking of the draft, the Detroit Lions. Actually, I'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I should say. There's always been a lock in a lot of these mock drafts that Aiden Hutchinson is a 1. Well, I'm here to tell you, Charles Davis and our guy Peter Schrags this morning, mock draft 2.0. Again, that's the gentleman with the most accurate mock draft when it comes to mock drafts. Has Trayvon Walker as the number 1 pick.
Why is that the most accurate when it comes to mock
draft? Just historically, he's been the most accurate in predicting where guys are going to go.
2.0?
Yeah, well, just and his final, whatever his finality.
Well, then it's not his final. So if it's his if you're telling me that in the past he's nailed it on his 2.0 drafts, then pay attention to this one.
It could be his 2.0 ones. I'm not sure.
At the end of it, so next Wednesday, the day before the draft, when his 5.0 or whatever the heck's done, right, to take that into consideration. But here's the thing: is it just me or is it anybody else? But the consistent inconsistency of everybody moving everybody around, it goes to the point of what Councilman Colosi has said, is that even the best of the best say that could be 4, 5, 6 guys that go first overall. It really is a crapshoot this year, depending on direction. And I add this caveat, right?
Always a caveat.
We have yet to see teams negotiate with each other or talk to each other to see who wants to move this, that, there.
What's happening? We just don't know.
We don't know if that's going on.
Yeah.
Once somebody does that, somebody moves in. And I'm not saying it's the Lions or anything, but once somebody moves around, that starts another pants on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so.
And real quick, too, to our resources here at Woodward Sports, Russell Brown and our guy Scott
What does
Bischoff.
our boy Bischoff say?
So Scott Bischoff says if you're going to take a quarterback, a swing and miss on a quarterback, it's this year. Because there's not a generational guy who's like, you can't miss on. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, like even Aiden Hutchinson, he's a stud, right? But he's not necessarily predicted to be a J.J. Watt or any of those type of guys. He's just predicted to be a solid NFL starter and the safest pick. And that's why, like, again, going back to like next year's draft, you want like talk defense this year. The draft is better next year, guys. It just is from our guys, and that's why you see the shuffling at the top of the draft this year too. There's no clear-cut number one guy. But with that being said, that would land Aiden Hutchinson at the possibility of being a Detroit Lion, D-Mac.
Let's say that again.
If our guy Trayvon Walker, if he did go number 1 to Jacksonville, that would make Aiden Hutchinson a possibility for the Detroit Lions at 2.
You know what? Right.
Would you?
So the whole thing is comes right. You have the ability to take him. Here's the conversation. Trayvon Walker, right? Georgia.
Yes.
Right. Now, the comparables or the numbers on him. That the word, or I've been told, is the fact that he's the biggest recipient of having Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean and having
Defense
the big
stacked.
guys up front.
Yeah.
That if you look at his numbers and his spreads compared to Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson, they're not even close. So the fact is that the idea of what you're getting with Aiden Hutchinson, and if that's their guy, to me, it's about which direction they want to go, right? It's like playing video games. It's like playing Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? Am I going to go out there, right, on my horse, and am I going to just start shooting at everybody and get my warrant up and have all the posses and everybody chase me through everywhere, and right? If anybody who's played, right, I put the warrant out on my butt. So everywhere I go, it's all this. Or am I just going to ease my way in? Am I going to go looking for some gold? Am I going to do stuff like that? What direction are we going here? Number 2 pick determines which direction. And I have no idea. Are we taking the gun out? Are we taking the cat? What are we doing? Don't you play Red Dead Redemption?
I do, but I'm just not grown up enough for those phrases you were using there.
Well, Spence, does
Easing
that
your
make
way
sense?
in.
Like you just walk out on your horse, start shooting people, then the warrant goes up,
Everybody's
right?
gonna see you,
Then you got to
yeah.
ride around trying to get rid of the warrant, and you can't because every territory you go in, you shot an innocent person.
You're going to have somebody, hey, I saw that. Then they'll
Right?
chase you down.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got to go shoot the rat.
Yeah.
Darren the Kid.
Crazy. Anyways, to the point about back on track. The point is that, to Scott's point about, right, if you're going to take that quarterback and take the flyer and you believe in Willis, then that's him. Whatever else is, whoever they choose has to be part of that foundation. Now, here's the thing, Eazy, because we're always looking for the number 1 pick or the top 5 pick or the top 1, 2, 3 pick to be superhuman, right? He's got to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. And I think that, because the reality of what it is. So the best GMs do the best job in finding the talent in drafts like this.
Yeah.
So there might not be that high-end talent, but what if there's a whole bunch of 7s? You need 7s.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes the 10s look
There's
better.
maybe 1 9, and you need 7s, bro.
No,
It's no wrong to bag a couple 7s.
yeah, ain't no shame in bagging a couple 7s.
Oh, you guys were talking about that. I just meant 7s. You need 7s in the lineup. There you go. Turning it heavyweights. But that's what I mean. You need the picks like they want. I'm more concerned that at the end of the day, for all the draft picks, is that they all play,
Yeah.
or at least 80% of them.
Yeah, I want to ask Spence real quick because we kind of hyped ourselves up on the Heavyweight podcast of the potential of
No,
Kayvon.
did you?
Yeah, we get pretty lit in there. But we've been hyped up on Kayvon. He was the consensus number 1, heading into draft season. How do you feel? Are you more sold on Kayvon at this point, or do you think they should take Aiden?
I still want Kayvon. I mean, if Aiden's there, like I said, I'm not going to be mad with either one. It's up to Brad Holmes. It's his decision, like D-Max says, and Brad we trust. But I think Kayvon has a higher ceiling than Aiden. I think Aiden's the safer pick. He's the guy that's going to get you 10 sacks, 11 sacks a year. But does that really do enough to be that number 2 overall pick? I think Kayvon has the potential of being that freak athlete that can get you a 16-sack season. He can get you a Defensive Player of the Year. He can get you those game-breaking plays where he sacks the quarterback, fumbles, picks it up, and runs. And, it's tough. It's tough because we've seen it from Aiden at the level, and we really haven't seen that explosiveness from Kayvon that we wanted to last year. But I just think Kayvon's upside is much higher, and when you're drafting in the top 3, you got to pick somebody with a high upside. Taking somebody safe at 2 is never really the best option.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I want you to dress me as Dutch from now on.
Yeah.
And those dang old Driscolls. Those dang old Driscolls. But yeah, I'll be Dutch.
Flannel saying, you're a Michigan fan. I already know your answer. Don't even go there.
Go there, Sammy Flannel. What do you got for us?
Well, for the record, I think Kayvon Thibodeau is a terrific prospect, and I would have no problem if the Lions got him. But I would, of course, take Aiden Hutchinson at number 2. Yeah. I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion, but I would take it. Because one of the reasons is, other than Will Anderson, he was the most productive defensive player last season. He wrecked the Ohio State game. He wrecked the Big Ten championship game. He was great against Penn State. He wrecked that game. He was great against Michigan State, even though they lost. And also, he's big. He's fast. He's strong. He's got very refined pass rushing moves. And that's something and he's also very, very good against the run. I think his upside is actually pretty high. But I also think he has the highest floor. And to me, that's really important. I want the Lions to get Aiden Hutchinson. That would be my first choice.
You know what I see more of, right, with Hutchinson? Is that, think about it, Sam. And does it not make sense? If I look at Hutchinson compared to Thibodeau, Hutchinson plug and plays with this defense right away, right? You could see him fitting in with, McNeil and the offense. You could see it. Where Kayvon Thibodeau, you see more. It's sort of they have to specialize something for him or just let him go, right? So the fit seems right there. I could see both of them, but again, it'll be interesting. And so good or bad, this comes back to why you didn't need to win that game against Green Bay. Because then you'd have all the right. It comes back to having that first pick. Because you don't have that first pick.
And you ruined my prediction.
But regardless of this, guys, you know what? All these guys that are going to the draft, that they should do, they got to work out.
Where at?
Well, they go to Planet Fitness, bro. Just like the studio sponsor, as you see here, Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere for just $10 a month or $22.99 for the Black Card. With the Black Card, members enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement, along with access to over 2,000 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges so the heavyweight heads get their sweat in. Yes, you can go to www.planetfitness.com today, and there's a Planet Fitness no matter where you are. Look at downtown, Midtown Detroit. Detroit Pistons Performance Center. Go work out down there now. Zero down, $10 a month. PlanetFitness.com. Where your fitness easy.
Your fitness is essential.
Thank you.
32 teams, 7 rounds, 224 young men who today are about to become players in the National Football League. A day where lives are changed, fates are decided, dynasties are born, and the clock is always ticking.
Draft day in Detroit. A time of hope, a time of wonder, and a time for Detroit Lions fans to act like it's the friggin' Super Bowl. Join Woodward Sports and hundreds of other diehard Lions fans for our NFL draft party and live stream from the Brass Rail Detroit. All your favorite and not so favorite Woodward Sports people will be there. Adam, Terry, Neil, D-Mac, Braylon, Ryan, the heavyweights, NFL scout Scott Bischoff, Maz, Stick, Jeff Maddie, Joey, and more. Come join us at the Brass Rail Thursday, April 28th from 7 p.m. until pick number 32. See you downtown for Draft Day with Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Cintron, Gypsy Vodka, and Planet Fitness.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
You know, Dutch, don't let these cameras fool you. I am a white man. Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D, with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get brown like me for all the best deals. They'll be all competitors by $5. And don't forget to pick up that Australian gold, that designer skin, Caltan, and Swedish beauty lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest balls, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. What up, dog? Welcome back. How was that one, Dutch?
That was good.
Dutch McCarty?
Oh, I mean, hey, might have a warrant out for me. I might have shot him off his horse right there.
Man.
I wasn't your worst, but it wasn't your best.
Hey, man, I honestly...
You're having fun with it, though. That's why I like that. That's the best part.
Welcome back to Big Clock Energy. I'm Eazy from Woodward Heavyweights, filling in for the golden voice, Neil Rule. And, of course, I'm joined by his tag team partner, the four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty. We got Flannel Sam in the audio booth. Not Flannel Sam, however you say that one. We got Confu Spinning in the TD booth. Guys, in the chat... I'm gonna entertain it a little bit. I wouldn't be mad with defense. I really don't care where we go too much in this draft because we need a lot of things. You guys want to go defense the first 3 picks? Where? What position of need is the biggest for Detroit Lions defense? Is it linebacker? Is it safety? Is it? I mean, obviously, edge is an important discussion too. Do you draft 2 edges? Like, what is it for you, D-Mac, as terms of defense goes?
Well, I think that with solidifying and signing the safety and free agency, where that sort of eliminates. The one thing to me that and I hope for, right? We still got a former 3rd overall pick in Jeff Okudah, who we're all just waiting to hopefully have a resurrection of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bonus, but definitely I think I'm a huge Jordan Davis guy.
Yeah,
just
he's
by
a huge guy
plugging up the middle. But in saying that, I can understand, why they're not going to draft him there. I can understand why they wouldn't or why they would. But we need speed and linebackers, something guys that can cover sideline to sideline.
Yes.
Not as much as the thumpers, as much because we got big guys inside. We got guys that can hold guys up, but we need guys that can cover the edges, guys that can run the corners down on guys like Aaron Jones. Guys that are more smart football players. And you look at the guys that. You look at like Alex Anzalone, right, who's re-signed. Well, that's a veteran to show somebody how to do it. Now he doesn't have that speed or the step or whatever else, but he's got the mind.
Yes.
It's the brain and the mind, and to be able to help younger guys along the way, I think that it's the development. So the one thing that I really loved about this organization, this team, that at the beginning is the former players, legit NFL players that are now coaches on this Lions team, because there's a credibility to that.
Yes.
And that follows down. And then when you have some older guys on 1-year deals or that have been around like Alex Anzalone, that's leadership to teach guys the right way. I think, the splat for me, it's getting that linebacker. I've always been a linebacker guy, but I was spoiled. I had Chris Spielman, then I had Stephen Boyd, and guys that were just stalwarts back there. But I'm looking for that next type of guy. DeAndre Levy.
He
was a guy. Stephen Tulloch, even when he came in here, and he was at near the end of his career after playing in Tennessee. So it'd be nice to be able to draft that linebacker, and that's the beauty, right? That pick isn't at the top where you pick the number 2 pick, like Scott Bischoff says, is that to take it on the quarterback, to take it on Willis at number 2. This linebacker guy is a 3rd, 4th, 5th round guy, but who can make that difference? We've seen it, right? We've seen it. You've seen what Micah Parsons did, that linebacker coming out, Penn State and going to Dallas. But you also look at guys that underneath of that, like a Vanderwall in Dallas, that fights injuries, but when he's there, he plays well. So I believe that those linebackers are out there. To answer your question, I want some speed. Yeah. I want some speed. I want cover guys. I don't need as much thumpers. I got some thumpers up front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll worry about bringing that down and my corners to be tough and my safeties to be tough. But I need some guys that can cover tight ends and cover guys and have that speed. I'm tired of guys running around us to the outside.
Yeah, and I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to Aaron Jones. That's why we let go. I think Jamie Collins was at the end. Is he was unable to seal off that edge. He either lacked the speed or effort to get there, and that's a big thing. And I think the NFL is a highly passing league. Like, that's what you see more than anything nowadays. You kind of need, a linebacker with some speed, like you said, to cover those tight ends. And that's part of the reasons why Cal Hampton was such an appeal to me, heading into the draft, because he's got the size and speed to do that. He could fill in for somewhat of a linebacker in dime, packages and whatnot. But this might be a good poll to do, Spence, if you want. What side of the defense or what position is the most important outside of edge? Is it linebacker? Is it defensive back? But I think I'm with you though, D-Mac, in terms of linebacker. And I see these guys with speed. I think Asamoah is a good one to have there. Obviously, Nakobe Dean, his name's been tossed around. But the thing that kind of scares me about him is, and again, this is why I love having Scott as part of the network, or just even as a buddy, is I can ask him, hey, why isn't this guy running at the combine? And he said, hey, teams are kind of scared about him. He might not be running for a reason because he doesn't want to expose himself.
Yeah, and here's the one thing, right, is that there's certain guys, Alan, like practice.
Hold on real quick.
Practice or stuff like this, that they're gamers, right? So are you a game player, right? Because some of the best, trust me, Eazy, some of the greatest of all time are the worst practice players. So a lot of times it's trusting in who's drafting them to see what they see, the eyeball test. Go ahead.
I was just saying, shout out to Daniel Gray in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button too. I appreciate you guys listening to us, but he goes, Adam wants cocaine, D-Mac wants speed.
That's it. There it is. And that's not my thing, man. I'm a downer guy. So but speed kills.
No, speed does kill. We talked about it. Even translate to other sports like hockey too.
Well, here's the game's changing, right? Mm-hmm. The game's changing. Right, so you need, obviously we know you need that corner cover, that cover cornerback and stuff like this, and that's why you get names like yesterday, like Sauce Gardner coming up, in the draft and stuff like this. But it's the speed. Every game's about speed. Hockey's about speed. Mm-hmm. You look at baseball. Look at how hard these guys are. There's a kid threw 30-some pitches over 100 miles an hour the other night. You know what I mean? Give me a break. Speed is a new thing. Actually. So I think with the rules and stuff like this, being able to cover guys is so much more important than getting a helmet on them because it's so much harder. You look at the evolution now that the wide receivers are getting paid. What's next, right? Mm-hmm. What's next? They make it easier. They make it easier for the offense, right? It's an offense-laden league, so the only way to combat that is if you can be in somebody's face or be able to run neck and neck with them down the field to disrupt that. We watch this. We watch how good these guys are, throwing it in a little window, or guys, there's 8 hands there, and then it goes through, and a guy. I mean, it's unbelievable. So you're just trying to find that little edge, and I think that just like in hockey in the NFL, it's that speed, and what we miss is just that speed on linebacker, the cover speed.
Yes, I'm
right
with you.
Out of the back, because look at how much the tight end's evolved. Right, it's a pass catcher now. So you got to be able to have that guy that can run either way, right?
Even just to fill the holes on a blitz.
Guy, and I know that if I'm playing defense against a guy that's a tight end and he can release left or right, as opposed to being a cornerback when only a guy can release if I want him to the inside of me, that's a huge That's a huge thing. So
But yeah, if it comes down to filling gaps, like you said, sealing off the edge on those pitches, like yeah, speed at linebacker is a must in today's NFL. Flannel Sam, what position you going with?
This is a tough one because I think they can address multiple positions. I mean, if we were to go defense, which I wouldn't be opposed to, I would go number 2, Aiden Hutchinson, number 32, Nakobe Dean if he's available, if not, Devin Lloyd, and number 34, Lewis Seen from Georgia. And I think that just fills up a ton of needs, and I think that would be the perfect draft, right? Every single one of those positions is a need, and if you put him with Aaron Glenn has proven that he can get the best out of not the best talent. And all three of these guys, I think they are elite talents.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say another thing too. I guess a point towards linebacker for us is like Aaron Glenn showed you like Sam said, he can make the most of what he's given. You saw Jerry Jacobs this year. You saw Owaria.
To my point, these guys having the Lions coaching staff down at Senior Bowl, watching these guys, having the eyeball test on a guy like Nakobe Dean, right? Where you could tell Aaron Glenn doesn't care about numbers. He cares the coaches. So, and it goes to putting it in your system and what can you do with it, right?
Yeah. Speaking of
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, boom, boom. Speaking of what?
Speaking of putting things in your system, I want to tell you about Gypsy Vodka.
Yeah, you would.
Bang, bang, boom, boom. Bang, bang, skeet, skeet. It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the best tasting and smoothest vodka on the market. Gypsy's gluten-free and corn distilled 6 times using artesian water. I told you guys that IAN, the EN, that's something fancy. That's some fancy stuff. Plus, they're from Michigan. Support local brothers here from Michigan. Try it out today. Ask for it by name, Gypsy. And as always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Counting down the hits until Miggy hits 3,000.
High drive, way back the other way, and gone! Cabrera hits another one.
The summer of Woodward sports is here.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know what? You heard about it. What can you do down there? You can host a corporate event, a team building event, or just come in with your family and friends and have a good time. There's 2 different ways you can play. Up to $10, unlimited open play. You stay there the whole time. Do whatever you want. Have a great time, open to close. Or you can have private lane reservations, $120, up to 10 people, 2 hours. They have multiple different beers you could choose from, over 100 fully loaded bars. 2 fully loaded bars. Or you don't want to make that decision, you got the $2 mystery beer vending machine. Put in $2, pops you out a great beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. You can bring in any food you want. You can bring in your Wingstop. You can bring in anything you want. Have a good time, have a picnic, do whatever you want. So come on down to Hamtramck and get your full on in person. Or check it out at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
What up, though, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Big Clock Energy. I'm Eazy from the Woodward Heavyweights Filming. The golden voice of Neil Rule.
Put my clock into your mouth.
Big old clock. I'm joined by the four-time Stanley Cup champion, Dutch McCarty. We got Flannel Sam in the audio booth.
Yeah, I like it.
We got my man Kung Fu Spinning in the TD booth.
Good point by Jack Carrington. Maddie would be a good Sadie Adler.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Maddie or Sadie or whatever you want to call it.
They're kind of close.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I think we'll probably do a little dive into those linebackers tomorrow if you guys want. Maybe we'll get Scott or our guy Russ Brown.
Yeah.
You guys find out about these linebackers. But let's move on to some baseball. Spence, you got in the prep, man. Torque is heating up.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk Tigers. Obviously, we haven't talked to him for a while, but Spencer Torkelson in Kansas City. Obviously, I don't know if anybody was watching the game, but I was listening to it. Subtle Tones, the Double D, Dan Dickerson. 2-1 was 2-run home run to be able to put him out. Now, my question is because of the slow start that he had, and he came here, and we all said, relax, and he'll find his way.
Mm-hmm.
Are we starting to see like the things that we're starting to see him? He's got a couple home runs now.
Yeah.
Starting to hit the ball. Is this what we're expecting to see? Where the comfortability, and it's only going to progress? Do you think he's one of the guys that, as the year goes along, could be just like the most cider for the Wings? Is a guy that the league's going to be talking about?
Yeah. Fully torqued, yes. Hell yeah. Since you're getting ready to go.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that coming. He didn't have a full spring training, and in your first year in the majors, it's tough to come back from that. You were down there, but you didn't have the whole essence of it. Everybody there, the whole team down there because of the lockout. And I think this is something that we're going to see with his power. It is just effortless, disgusting power. He's hitting these, 430, 440.
He hit that home run, and this is like,
shots.
so if you know Kansas City's ballpark, the bullpen's in left field, and it's actually set back, and there's a wall there, right? And usually, home runs go into the bullpen, and maybe they hit the wall. He cleared the wall. I think it was like 440 or something like this.
He hit it off the pitcher's face on the Jumbotron. It bounced off the pitcher's face on the Jumbotron.
It bounced off the pitcher. So what I'm saying is that the power's there, getting the confidence. That's sort of the thing that's being there. Where are we at? Obviously, rain out on Sunday. Redo that game, Kansas City, and off day yesterday. Got the Yankees coming into town. Garrett Cole tonight versus Tyler Alexander.
The painter.
So a couple weeks in to the season, where you guys at as far as your Tiger fandom, or because it's sort of been up and down. Obviously, Javi Baez is out, Mize is out, Manning's out. A few of the injuries. I think that the injuries, especially the pitchers, are more so because of lack of spring training, lack of stretching out is something to be aware of. But where are you guys at? Because I thought they're probably right where I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
And Riley Green being hurt sucks too. But
yeah, we obviously had the rain out, but we took the series 2-3. I'm pretty excited because that's with the injuries we had too. And I think Manning's fine. I just took him out as a precaution because Mize got hurt. But man, for me, again, like heading back into being a baseball fan or Tigers fan, like watching them like how I used to, it's perfect, man. And I know the Royals are nothing special. We'll probably the Yankees are terrifying, especially Cole on the mound tonight. Like that's a little bit scary.
They're playing bad ball though.
Yeah.
The Yankees have been playing real bad. They're off to one of their worst offensive starts in years. They lost to the Orioles. That's the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, and Garrett Cole didn't look strong in his first start, and you never know. You know what I've really noticed, and I said this again, and I continue to say it: an engaged Miguel Cabrera.
Yes.
Right, which not only the stats and the hitting, but you watch him. You watch when Torque hit that home run. He's so excited. There's a rejuvenation to the big fella.
Yeah.
Right, about being there and having fun, and I think that's the one thing is. With some of the new guys too, you look at like Austin Meadows, who somebody said he was getting his haircut here yesterday. By the way,
yeah, that's what Maddie said.
Did he make it on the bottom line?
No, I don't think
he was still getting cleaned up. You couldn't make it in time.
Nice, but hey, at least coming in. But there's another guy, right? That you look at the acquisitions, and baseball's a long year. Obviously, the Yankees coming to town. It's early in the season, and they're struggling, so it's a good test. The good boys will be ready, so anybody heading down there. But yeah, it was nice to see Torkelson get the hit and then the home run. Even in the loss at home before going on the road, and then to continue it, because I think the young guys, like you said, it's once they get the confidence. Confidence is a huge thing. So it'll be interesting to see. But
to Miggy's point too, I think not is he just like a great power hitter, he's cerebral as well. I think we just played out on the Woodward Sports Twitter recently.
That's always been
you know what I'm saying? And
I'd say he's more cerebral than he is power.
To have him in Torque's ear, you gotta come on, you gotta love that.
Here's the thing: there's
coach.
one thing, and this is what I want you to understand, Eazy. There's one thing to have greatness and young greatness around, but there's another thing to have camaraderie and take on. You know what it reminds me of for all you WWE fans? It's like RKO, or it's like Randy Orton and Riddle, right? It's RK Bro, where Randy Orton's sort of the old veteran guy and stuff like this, and more known as the solo act and the Viper and just like, but Riddle's brought him. Now he's having fun again. You watch him. I mean, you watch it. So
yeah,
and you listen to interviews, and to me, that's what it seems. It's given him that resurgence. But also know this: you say cerebral, but also too, Miguel Cabrera coming out and saying it's so important that his last few years here that tried to bring a championship back. So he's going to give the kid as much knowledge and leadership and mentorship as he can. And when you see it, you know it's happening, right? It's not, I'm not telling you this. Watch it.
Yeah, literally.
And I don't know, with Miguel Cabrera embracing the DH role, embracing these young players, having that fun, to me that just preaches success for the Tigers.
And having that cerebral mind in his ear too, like I think you see that's why when he takes a walk, I think Neil Rule actually said on Twitter, he loves the way Torkelson takes a walk. He's just so patient and confident. You know
that's that's the difference, right? And that can bleed even as a young guy to the veterans. If the young guys come in and show the patience that you're supposed to show as a veteran, that can bleed down into in a positive way.
Yeah,
in a positive way. So I think as this team gets to know each other, also too is that one of the things that I wanted to address too is Tarek Skubal's last start. Which really was apparent to how valuable Tucker Barnhart is behind the plate, because he was doing things and just the way that Barnhart was calling the game. Mm-hmm. And the one thing is that Tarek Skubal gave up the most home runs in the Major League Baseball last year, right? His slider at the bottom, when it wasn't controlling at the bottom of the zone, he was getting lit up on. Well, Barnhart had him throwing the slider at the top of the zone, which guys aren't used to, and was moving the ball around. And I think that the combination between the pitcher and the catcher, that's the value also to come into play that we hadn't seen before. So the fact that there's all these little intricacies that we see happening. Now, the idea is everybody gets back healthy.
Yes.
We get Javi Baez back healthy, but we keep going. But so the new guys, the young arms out of the pen. I love Tyler Alexander starting today because he just he'll take the ball no matter where it is, and you tell him when he's done throwing. He's going to throw strikes until you tell him he's done throwing. So look forward to that, and don't worry, afternoon game on Thursday, it's supposed to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be nice. Everybody going down to Thursday's afternoon game.
Tyler Alexander, Spence, you told me an interesting story of his nickname.
Yeah, his nickname's Todd the Painter is what they called him in college. And what
Todd the Painter?
Todd the Painter, like the guy from Wedding Crashers that ties up Vince Vaughn. That's because they said they looked like him with his hair. And Todd the Painter, like for a pitcher, that's a sweet name. Paint the strike zone and stuff. That's really cool.
Paint the corners.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I love it.
No, yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. And again, too, like, dude, this we took those 2 or 3 with the injuries, and Baez too. By the way, his injury, that 10-day what do you call it, IL or whatever it's called, it's actually retroactive back to the 13th to when we originally took that day off. So he'll be back on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you gotta be excited about this team. I will find out tonight though. I mean, tonight's a big test.
No, but I think that what they are is what we've seen is they're fighting the inconsistency. The bats haven't heated up yet all throughout the lineup, but slowly but surely it's coming. But I like the way that they're scrapping and finding ways to stay in games and to win ball games, right? And my boy Michael Fulmer out of the pen, the bullpens. What did I say early on? It doesn't matter when it all shakes out. How is your bullpen, taking care of business? And Fulmer in the 8th and Soto in the 9th has been working. I mean, they even had to give Soto a break the other day because he pitched 3 in a row. So I mean, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Those are good things. So yeah, it's an exciting time, and no better time than if you got a chance to get down to Comerica Park.
Yeah. In
the next 3 days, the Yankees are in town, and like you said, Spence, they're primed for the taking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some inner turmoil going on there because they ain't hitting. You got the Judge and you got Stanton and all that money there. Woo,
Donaldson and
I know
Gallo.
that all my Yankees. We should talk to Maz, even though he's a Mets fan. But all my Yankees buddies want Brett Boone gone. So
yeah,
or Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone. Yeah, it's tough.
His brother.
You're coming off Girardi, the evil umpire. I look at that guy. He looks like a supervillain every time I see him. And now he's for Phillies now, I think, right? Yeah, and he's a great coach. And Aaron Boone, he was kind of untested coming to the Yankees, and it's not working out so far. So we'll see how much longer of a rope they give him, but it's not looking good.
Not looking good. And if you're not looking good in terms of substance use disorder and mental health, you can check out the SMA podcast, a series. This is the F word. It's a series on fentanyl. SMA has been alleging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against these issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan, has been able to save lives and take a stance against these issues. Again, the podcast is called This is the F word. It's a series on fentanyl. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they're here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. This is Big D Energy. We'll be right back.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You asked for it and we listened. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
What's up, y'all? We're talking draft, party, Woodward Sports, Cintron, Gypsy, Vodka, and Planet Fitness. Yes, the 2022 NFL Draft Party, Brass Rail, Detroit. Yes, Woodward and Adams, you know where it is. Thursday, April 28th from 7 p.m. until the 32nd pick. Why? Because that's ours, too. We're celebrating the Lions picks at number 2 and number 32. So join the Woodward Sports and hundreds of other diehard fans for our NFL Draft Party and live stream from the Brass Rail in Detroit. All your favorite and not so favorite people will be there. Draft the Croquet, Adam.
What's Sam do to
T.
you?
Foster, Professor, The Real Deal, Neil Rule, D. Mac, Braylon, Ryan, the Heavyweight Heads, NFL Scout, Scott Bishop, Matt Stick, Jeff, Matty, Joey, and all the crew, even Sammy Flannel, wearing a special Draft Day flannel. You're going to want to check that out. So come join us at the Brass Rail. Thursday, April 28th from 7 until number 32 pick. See you downtown for Draft Day with Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Cintron, Gypsy, Vodka, and Planet Fitness. Where? Easy.
Your fitness is essential.
Your fitness is essential.
You need a little more
I need a little more effort on this. If
Hey,
you're
I
gonna tell
was
people
reading.
the fitness is essential, you got to get into it.
Hey, your fitness essential, cuz.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
What up, though? Welcome back to Big D Energy. I'm Easy from the Woodward Heavyweights, filling in for the golden voice Neil Rule, joined by his tag teammate, the four-time Stanley Cup champion, and his fitness is essential. Kung Fu Spinny. I was watching Jordan Poole last night.
Yeah.
Going to Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And you know how I am. I'm always like, hey, you need a wing and up if you really want to win a championship in the NBA. But those three guards.
That lineup of death.
They're
running
God.
a new lineup of death. It used to be Steph, Clay, Iggy, Draymond. But now it's Jordan Poole, Clay, Steph, Wiggins, Draymond is what they're calling the new lineup of death. And they went on, I think it was a 17-point run.
When I see Draymond Green dropping trays like it's like he's Steph Curry on a kick out, I was watching this game like in the distance doing something else, but watching the score and back and forth, and I didn't have the volume on, but you could see I was like, are they seriously going on this run? And it wasn't me. You guys are the basketball guys, and I wanted to bring this up because obviously getting into the heat of the first round of the playoff series or whatever, what did that? I know that there's a couple new faces, but the same three, the original three are there. And did it not look like it was 5 years ago?
No, they have never lost a playoff series when all three of them have played like every game.
Say that again.
The Warriors have never lost a playoff series.
The Golden State Warriors have never lost a playoff series with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green.
Play every game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on, because here's the thing, right? What did you see? I saw a fresh Steph Curry.
Yes.
I saw Klay Thompson. I saw Klay Thompson that I hadn't seen in a few years. Obviously injuries and stuff like this, but because he's always been that sort of glue.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the analogy. If Dylan Larkin is your Klay Thompson, you're going to win cups.
Yeah, it's tough. Oh, we got somebody screaming in the background here, kind of confused. But it's definitely wild like that. And like
Who's yelling in here about
Chris
me?
Smith
I'm the only
said
one allowed to yell in the office.
70 points in 19 minutes. The Warriors scored 70 points in 19 minutes last night. And I saw Draymond down there. Draymond was fighting. He was fighting with Jokic, getting in his head. Jokic ends up getting ejected. You know, that's Draymond being Draymond. I love to see that.
No, that's what I mean. It was throwback Golden State Warriors. So let me ask you basketball aficionados this. Is this a one-time thing, or is this something that was that a statement game to the rest of the league?
Yes.
See, in hockey, when I watch that, especially like if it's in the playoffs, regular season, not so much. If something happened like that in regular season, I look around and be going, well, you know, be aware, but you can't replay that in the playoffs. If that happened in a playoff series or something like that, or something happened, let me use, for example, in 2008, Johan Franzen had I think he had 9 goals in 4 games in the Colorado series. Like, if you saw that from anywhere else, you were like, this guy cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's sort of what I saw last night. The first thing that it reminded me of was the series against Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's funny because I played in those games and I watched. I had the best seat in the house from the bench. I'm watching it, and it was unbelievable. I played with so many Hall of Fame guys and stuff like this, but that series was unbelievable. That's what it reminded me of last night. Didn't matter what Denver did. Didn't matter what they did.
Yeah,
it was irrelevant. So do we expect this moving forward from Golden State? Is this series over? Are they done? Or is there an answer? Or because you think of the turmoil between, you know,
I don't want to say it's over, but I do want to say expect that, because those guys, especially Jordan Poole too, like he had 30 points in the first game of the series, 29 last night. They're all sharing the ball.
Isn't Jordan Poole? Isn't he? He's the new, like,
he's
as
like the
far as
splash
they
baby.
needed the young blood.
You know how they got the splash
right?
bros? Jordan
they needed
Poole's
the
splash
young
baby.
blood, right? They needed the baby blood. They got to bring somebody in there for a new kill, that's got to run the.
I almost feel like you ever see that Ninja Turtle meme? What's it, the walking Raphael?
Master Splinter.
Or Master Splinter, yeah. And now the New Age, not the New Age Warriors, because they obviously need another person too. But yeah, Jordan Poole is like, you know, the younger or the older Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, but you need that, because that's what you need to be able to rush.
The Splash Bros become the Splash Uncles, and they're raising Jordan Poole to be a beast.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like? And take heed to this, right? 18 years. Right, 18. Is it 18 years or 16 years in Pittsburgh?
18 years.
Pittsburgh.
18 years.
Letang, Malkin, and Crosby together. Right, going into this playoff series. Right, what have they done along the way? It's that there's the core, and then influence the Getzels and all these other young guys that, you know. So if you look around in sports, there are some like this. My thing is that we're all in agreement that this was more of the coming out party than it was the one-off misnomer, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're doing all this without James Wiseman, who was their top draft pick a couple years ago. And when I see just Draymond absolutely taking care of Jokic the MVP, who might win MVP again this year, and he's getting taken out of the equation. And they have this lineup of death they're running with the 3 guards going crazy on everybody. Aaron Gordon's playing terribly for the Nuggets. Obviously, the Nuggets, they're down MPJ, they're down Jamal Murray, but they just don't have the guns to stick with the Warriors.
Yeah.
And this series is over. It's over.
And real quick, too. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah. Once Steph is back, and you saw Steph healthy,
he's back,
and he's Steph Curry, and he's dropping 34 points off the bench, this series is over.
Dude, he's even going to the rack, like doing all kinds of types of spin moves. Go ahead, Flannel Sam, and I want to say something about Jordan Poole. It's kind of exciting for the Pistons.
Well, I'm going to start with Jordan Poole myself, because coming out of Michigan, I was not, even though I watched a lot of him, I thought he was just a shot jacker. And he's proven to be much more than that, but I still think he will shoot you out of a couple of playoff games. He'll have a couple where he shoots like 2 for 10 from 3. But as far as the Warriors go, I'm not sure if I'm ready to call them the title favorites. But Steph Curry is motivated, because I think we would all agree Steph Curry is an all-time great, top 15 to 20 basketball player ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay.
But changed the game.
But here's the problem. He did change the game. He is the best shooter ever. He has been to 5 NBA finals in his prime. 0 finals MVPs. He's got to change that. This could be really big for his legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say this too. Jordan Poole, a restricted free agent. The Warriors are playing Draymond. They're paying Clay, and they're playing Steph. Would you like to see him here in Detroit?
I'd throw a bag at him.
So, Michigan ties, restricted, somebody would... Now, okay, break that down for us. Around how would he play with Cade Cunningham, or where would he fit in on this Pistons team if...
Watching him last night, as willing as, because I know Sam just said he may shoot you out of a playoff game, but like watching him last night when he's on the floor with the elite talent, he'll share the ball. Yeah. I mean, you saw it a couple times last night, a couple behind the back dimes too. Actually, I'm gonna look up the stat line in a minute too, but like he's more than I think him and Cade. I think it'd be pretty.
No, but because here's the next question, right? When we're talking about our team here, as you look at are there players in this playoff series on other teams that you could see here and legitimately see here, right? Because you just mentioned it, while they're paying these guys and he's a restricted free agent, there might be an opportunity. There's one guy.
Yeah, last night Jordan Poole went in 34 minutes, 29 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 5 of 10 from deep, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And I can see Jordan Poole starting at 2 for the Pistons. Fit him in with Sadiq and Cade. They play swimmingly. You know, he's already been playing with Clay and with Steph, so he knows how to get in where you fit in. He knows how to distribute the ball, and I think that would be great. Obviously, you gotta throw a bag at him because Golden State can match anything that you're offering him. But I like it. I like it a lot, honestly.
You know what the one thing is too, and you see that is that not too big of the moment, because it tells you a lot about the character of the guys to step in there with all the pedigree and to be able to find your groove, and also find your groove, but have that confidence, right? Mm-hmm. Of not being out of place, not looking around. And I think that, you know, to your point, Sam, about Jordan Poole coming from here, and maybe we thought he might have been, you know, maybe not one-dimensional, because he's not one-dimensional, but the fact is I think there's more to the game, and I think it's more to his mental game, right? To me, the talent's one thing, and being like a shooter around all shooters, all they do is shoot. Yeah. So he's got to learn something from Clay and Steph and be a better shooter. But to Eazy's point of the ball distribution, the fact that he is more, to me, that those stat lines and just watching the game, he's an integral part of that basketball game and that team in every facet of the floor.
Yes.
That's what wins championships. That's what, right? You remember the Golden States of the past that had these three. That's sort of the Iguodala role, right?
Yes.
But as the veteran off the bench to whatever else, if he embraces it and fills it, and it seems like the team also has a lot of confidence in him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That goes a long way. You have a lot of self-confidence when you look over and you know Steph and Clay are giving you the ball because they want you to have the shot because it's better for the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and to the big point is when Draymond's acting like the big dog in the yard. Golden State's such a better because he's taking all the heat towards him. He's a great heel when he does that. It's heel heat.
Yeah, and like
he knows his role. That's his role. He wants to win. He knows what it is.
Yes.
I just know that they're grooving when they kick it out to him and he's dropping threes like like it's a horse game.
Even though he shoots like he's wearing a backpack. His jump shot looks like he's got a backpack on.
How about any of these other series? You know, do you think?
Well,
you know,
real quick.
Any? Do you guys have it? What is your thoughts about?
Well, I want to talk
about KD flipping off the Boston fans.
Kyrie.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
Kyrie.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Boston fans suck.
Yeah, Boston fans do suck. And like, dude, that's just, you live for stuff like that. He makes himself a villain. It's more entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, but here's the whole thing, right? Here's the whole thing. To me, anyways, in the playoffs, well, then you're making it about yourself, and you're more worried about them than you are about winning the game. Obviously, it works better. Trust me, the best thing is when you beat them. And then sort of do it. So I like the one behind his head.
Yeah,
that was creative.
What was that one?
But when you see him shoot, and then all his focus is on that, you know, that's why I don't think they're good. Do we think that Brooklyn comes back?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out of that series.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you saw.
And any other surprises before we move on from basketball?
Well, I just want to. I mean, I could gush over the Jordan Poole, Kay Cunningham, and Sadiq thing for a whole other segment, but no, I mean, I think Brooklyn comes back. I think probably. Who do you think comes out of the West?
Dallas. Well, I think personally, I think it's going to be Phoenix. Honestly, Suns and foe, but I think they're the best team. I think they're going to win the chip, but
yeah,
I could definitely see them in Brooklyn in the finals or Milwaukee. It could be a repeat.
That's fair.
Well, you never know, but you know what I do know? Everybody likes money. They like $100,000, $100K. Yes. So get the Lady Janes, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be six figures richer. All you need to do is get to a Lady Jane's haircut for men near you. There's 168 across the country, so it's not that hard. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down, and before you get the Great King's treatment or that haircut, you say, hey, ladies, can I get my name on that list to get some of that cash? And they say, yes, sir, here you go. So get into Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Register for your 100K. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Easy in for Neil, D Mac, Sammy Flannel, and Spence here on a Thirsty Tuesday. That doesn't make sense.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Oh, my bad. Sticker genius. You know it, just like all the stickers. I just wanted you all to see the great job with the stickers here. It's Sticker Genius. You can go to stickergenius.com. You know what? They can do all of this stuff in less than 24 hours. They can do stickers, signage, whatever you need. Look soon for the heavyweight heads, or the Woodward heavyweight, sorry. That's a cannabis brand. The heavyweight heads, Big D Energy, Bottom Line, Morning Wood, hashtag Draft the Cocaine, Sammy Flannel, the Fish Kiwi, all the Rock and Roll Express. Here we go. Sticker Genius, you can be like us. Go to them today, get your stickers.
Oh, yeah. What up, though? Welcome back to Big D Energy. I am Eazy from the Woodward Heavyweights, filling in for the Golden Voice in New Rule, and I'm joined by his tag team partner, the four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty. We got Flannel Sam in the sound booth. We got Kung Fu spinning in the TV booth, and we getting it popping. Hit the like button, damn it! We have a four-time Stanley Cup champion on the show, so who would we be not to talk hockey? I know you guys like some football too. We got remixed a little bit last night with the Seattle Kraken. They had our guy, Marshawn Lynch, whipping the Zamboni.
Well, here's the backstory, right? We got the Seattle Kraken for people at home and watching it right now. Marshawn Lynch, former running back for the Seattle Seahawks and Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders, whatever you want to call, all known for Skittles, and in the Subway commercials and stuff like this, is a minority owner of the Seattle Kraken, and he's doing donuts on a Zamboni, celebrating. Now, that looks like it's at the practice rink where the Kraken, where they practice and stuff. Tell me my man ain't having a blast.
Oh, he's having a blast. Right? I love that you noticed it was the practice rink because they didn't want to let him, in the real arena mess things up probably. I don't know if you guys remember back when he was in college, I think it was at Cal. Remember we stole like the injury cart?
Oh, yeah,
he was like doing the same thing.
How can you not love Marshawn Lynch? And the fact that, I love, so not only staying in his community, he loves his community, being a part of it, but also coming into my sport and understanding, to be a part of it. I think this is awesome. I think this is great to not only help expand the game, but it also goes to show you what they got going out there in Seattle. You know, we see it with the Seahawks, but the support that they get from not only the community, but the celebrity community, and whether it's like Jay-Z owning some of the Nets or Drake owning some of the Raptors or whatever, just to be affiliated with the team. And the joy you see on his face. He's having a blast. So next thing is, let's get him on skates. Let's get you out there, Marshawn.
Oh,
Imagine that.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be awesome.
Versus Marshawn.
That's.
Ooh, there you go. Marshawn versus Marshawn.
What's that?
Put him out there against Brad Marshawn.
Marshawn.
Why would you want to do that? Okay.
I want to see him get
Marshawn
creamed.
versus Marshawn on the ice, and then Marshawn versus Marshawn off the ice. Then we make the Rat try to tackle him in
There we go.
the head-to-head drill.
Yeah, I'm down for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping things hockey, bringing it back to Hockey Town, Detroit. I told you guys a couple weeks ago that I've been like binge watching some Swedish highlights, and it happened this weekend too. Obviously, we had the Florida came and dropped 6 goals on us. Mm-hmm. Well, I've been talking about Simon Edvinsson every time we have Danielle on. D-Mac, are you pumped up for this kid?
Yeah, dude. Did you ever listen to me talk about just waiting? Do you ever see that when you're talking about daily duo or the power team, right? Where you say you got Sadiq and Cade, and you got Raymond and Sider, you got Torque and Green, and I always say it's not Raymond and Sider, it's Raymond and Edvinsson. Mm-hmm. Wait till a year or whatever like that, because you have the ability to have the left-handed shot of what you have. Everything that I hear about this kid from the people that I respect the most, and the numbers don't lie. Obviously playing that Swedish Elite League, but it's the jam the kid has, the fire the kid has. A little backstory. His old man's 6'8", 270 pounds, a police officer, right? So he's got that and little, intimidating man, so to speak. And the kid plays with that intimidating factor. So and that's just one of 6 or 7, not just in Sweden or playing in that league, but that are coming up in the pipeline. When we say about the war chest and we say about the draft capital and what do we have down the pipe, I'm as excited for this guy. I started becoming the most excited for him coming over next year when, probably the beginning of March.
Oh,
right?
Man.
Just because you could see the glare of what we didn't have. You have one, you can't. My hat's off to Mark Stahl, who's a plus player on this team, which is unbelievable to be a plus player on this team playing defense, which shows you how great of a professional hockey player he is. But most Siders really your only D-man who's going to sort of be here when the smoke clears. It's looking that way because to me, the rest of them really haven't proven anything. They'll still get opportunities. Some of them will get opportunity to prove that they still can do it.
Yeah.
But now we're looking, right? This is what happens. When you're disappointed in what you have, you go start looking into the closet, look into the drawers, look see what's coming down the pipe. So to me, that's just a big testament of what's happened to the big team this year.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the difference, right? Everybody's always usually percolating in the AHL at Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Not so much. There are some guys percolating down there, getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
But the Swedish Elite League, this Frölunda, everything like that, that's where it's at.
Yeah, the other guy I've been watching too was Soderblom. Another guy is 6'8".
Yeah,
6'8" forward.
Dude, just putting on a show, 6'8" in front of the net, soft mitts, stuff like this, new NHL.
Silky.
And these guys are effective because the way that the rules have changed. And I had David Backus, who a former captain for St. Louis, and a guy I respect the heck out of. He brought up a great point last night listening to the NHL Network, is that when the rules have changed, where I used to be able to get my stick, and if I could get my stick horizontally on you, well, you had like 5.5, 6 feet of perimeter to go around to get around me, right?
Yeah.
Now I can't do that. That's illegal. So the guys that are huge with the reaches, you can't take them away.
Yeah.
As effective as before, we used to say Mario Lemieux, and you've seen him, used to have the longest reach, him and a guy like Tim Kerr, where they could just keep the puck so far away from you couldn't do anything. Well, what you used to be able to do is like try to tackle them, they were too good that they just fend you off. So it's the way the new NHL. And if you watch some of these Swedish, like go looking for London and stuff like this, some of the goals that he scores, they're in close, they're big time goals around the net, you know, being size and stuff like this, and being that big, being a forward and being able to skate, right? Speed's not only, Adam wants cocaine for the draft, D-Mac wants speed and linebackers. You need that speed. You know, in hockey these days, and these big men have all that. That's the difference, right? They used to not be able to skate like they can now. Now they all skate like the wind. So, as disappointing as this, you know, the second half of the season was, there's still bright skies ahead. It's what's coming down the pipeline.
1,000%. That's why when I was on with Neil the other day, I was just like, dude, like, just calm down. Like, I know, like, it looks all bad right now, but, like, that 30,000 foot view.
It's not all bad, dude, because it's all in the expectations, and you got to go through. You're digging the foundation. You're setting up the cement, man. You know, okay, so you know what? You didn't get the basement finished yet, and it snowed and it rained, and you got all that, and you got to clean all the muck out of there first before you continue.
Yeah.
Right? We had a little bit of a setback to what it is, but is it a setback, or does it actually put you ahead further on because you're not committed to guys that can't get it done? They've shown their cards earlier. So to me, it's always how you're going to use it. And then I look to the guy in charge, and then I look up and I go, oh, Steve, I'm not even going to worry about it, because if I've thought about it, he thought about it 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's not a setback. It's part of the foundation.
It's
like
part.
You said.
It's part of growing. And listen, trust me, for me in life, it's the things that I didn't get or the setbacks that I had and how I dealt with them that got me further ahead than I ever was going to get to. But you know what? Get you further ahead?
What?
Oh, big news. Cintron, now available in select Kroger stores.
Hey,
this is the store locator. There's even a store locator at CintronWorld.com to find where you buy Cintron at your local Kroger. Currently, 2 for $4. That's a special. That's a deal. Be sure to try Cintron Cranberry, the best tasting sparkling energy drink. Cintron is also available in classic and classic sugar-free. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You can probably get a Gypsy vodka and a Cintron, mix it together, and then you're having an easy, breezy afternoon. Anyway, Cintron's the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings and Tigers, Detroit City FC. Good luck tonight. Screw the crew and partner of the Detroit Pistons. Be sure to buy Cintron at select Kroger's to support a brand that cares so much about Detroit sports. Cintron, drink it, live it with Cintron. Big D Energy, Eazy, driving the pontoon, and we kept it clean today. Big Spence, hammering the ones and twos, and Sammy Flannel on Jackie Robinson, 42 straight flannel days. Here, Big D Energy, we'll be right back.
32 teams, 7 rounds, 224 young men who today are about to become players in the National Football League. A day where lives are changed, fates are decided, dynasties are born, and the clock is always ticking.
Draft day in Detroit. A time of hope, a time of wonder, and a time for Detroit Lions fans to act like it's the friggin' Super Bowl. Join Woodward Sports and hundreds of other diehard Lions fans for our NFL draft party and live stream from the Brass Rail Detroit. All your favorite and not so favorite Woodward Sports people will be there. Adam, Terry, Neil, D-Mac, Braylon, Ryan, the heavyweights, NFL scout Scott Bischoff, Maz, Stick, Jeff Maddie, Joey, and more. Come join us at the Brass Rail Thursday, April 28th from 7 p.m. until pick number 32. See you downtown for Draft Day with Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Cintron, Gypsy Vodka, and Planet Fitness.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wingstop has the best traditional wings. Try our signature sauce, Jamaican jerk, or lemon pepper. Wings are tossed to perfection any sauce you pick. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online now at Wingstop.com. Wingstop. We just had better wings. So good. What up, though? Welcome back to Big D Energy
I am Eazy of the Woodward Heavyweights, joined by the 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty. Got Flannel Sam, my man Kong Fu Spinny. Real quick, D-Mac, I see a comment. I want to give this guy credit. The Away Fan on YouTube asked, who amazed you more on the ice, Fedorov or Datsuk?
Who what?
Who amazed you more on the ice? That was a good question.
All right, yeah, both, but in different ways.
Yeah.
Like Sergey it was like the Maserati sleek sports car, dude. Like you know what it was like? It was like a Tesla. The electric, you didn't hear it, and it just zoom by you, right? Like this. And Sergey's shot, right? Like Marty Lapointe, we saw Marty Lapointe rip Patrick Waugh's glove off and score a goal on a one-timer. That's called heavy. Sergey's shot wasn't heavy, but it was like a laser, and it was like off his stick and ting, ting. Like if you got hit by it, it wouldn't hurt as much, but he could pick corners that way. Pavel, as far as controlling the puck, the corners, the dipsy-do, the dangles, stuff like that, his hands, as far as dangling with the puck and stuff like this, especially, that was more of his game. Sergey was more of the, like the Maserati, sleek. And Pavel just in small spaces. But Pavel, dude, anybody who's seen Pavel Datsuk walk, and to watch him skate and his balance and the stuff he can do on his skates, and there's the penalty shot or the breakaway goal that he scored, and he did this reverse toe drag. I mean, if I tried to do that, dude, I would have tripped and broke my neck on that board. Not even got a shot off, right? So those two guys were probably the most talented, natural, gifted. So I mean, just have them both play on the same line, and then you're good.
Yeah, but I had to ask.
But no. I mean, they're both amazing. Amazing, but a little bit differently. I'd say Pavel was more of the, the F-150, the Hummer, the more the utility, all-terrain, because he did the most side of reverse check. He liked it when you came up and tried to hit him, and he'd lean into you and stuff like that. He didn't mind the physicality of that.
Yeah.
And Sergey is more of the, Ferrari.
Okay.
Yeah, but both the probably the two most naturally talented guys.
Yeah.
I played with.
And you guys too, man, in the YouTube chat, like, feel free. We're in the last 4-minute stretch of the show. If you guys got some awesome questions like that.
Hey, YT Sparty, I can beat all of them up, and they know it.
Oh, for sure. I don't think that's without question. Actually, who do you think would win in a fight between those two, though?
What?
Who do you think would win in a fight between Fedorov and
Pavel.
Datsuk?
Pavel's got the reach.
See, I don't think the more of a question is who would win in a drinking contest. That's the real question.
Throw some vodka on the table.
Do you beat them in that too, back then?
Oh, come on, man. Look at Eazy just asked everybody out there that knew D-Mac back in the drinking days. Could I? You don't even know. It's nothing to be proud of. It's to be proud that if you want out, there is a way.
Yes. Hell yeah. That's why you're the man. That especially. What were you going to say?
Didn't think there was, but put it this way, Eazy. Those two bottles there, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something honestly I admire you like very strongly for, because obviously you've been the best in the world 4 times in your life, but that's literally taking people's lives away.
Well, and here's the whole thing, right? So whatever it is, to understand that you're not alone and there is a way out. Because the worst feeling as an addict or whatever is that you're hopeless and you feel like you don't have a way out. For me, from alcohol or whatever. Now, I'm very, very, the plant saved my life, so that's my mission, and took the wing off, protect the plant, to give people to know that you have an option. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Because tomorrow, boys, you know what day it is.
Hump day.
420.
Oh, it's 420.
Yeah, 420. And no, not.
Oh, it is.
Well, it is Adolf Hitler's birthday.
Should we all partake before the show?
But it's 420. Happy Weed Day tomorrow. Yes, exactly. It's going to be a can of Wednesday.
Can we?
Hump Day.
Can we just get a little circle in the garage?
Now we got to think of a new opening video, since tomorrow's 420. We can definitely do something.
Oh yeah,
like
we got to
that.
find one for sure. I'm so down.
Here, I got it. Tristo asked the question: what road trip does D-Mac miss the most from his time with the Wings? Arizona, Scottsdale.
What about
See,
it?
here's the thing. When we went out west, Scotty loved to go out west. So we'd always go in there an extra day early. So we'd have a day to go golfing and stuff like this. So Arizona was always good. The Scottsdale, we always stay at the Ritz, and there was a Morton's next door. So we'd always have team meals there. It'd be usually early in the season or late in the season, but that was sort of like one of the spots on the road. So it was just a great bonding time before the playoffs or at the beginning of the year. But Arizona, Scottsdale, there's a bar in Scottsdale called Madison's that Chelly's buddy that he went to school with at Madison, Wisconsin, opened that bar. We had the greatest Super Bowl party there. And I'm not just saying that because I won the squares. It was when Denver won.
It's definitely a little bit probably because you won the squares.
No, it's not because I won the squares.
That's going to make the experience way better.
It was just a great party.
Yeah.
If you were there, you know what I mean. Anyways, wrap her up, Easy.
All right. What's Neil's line?
Well, see you later.
Deuces.
All right.